We've spent over 10 years on air, shaping a generation of action motorsports, and now we're changing the game again. The best motorsports, the best action sports, and the best of pop culture with some epic guests thrown in. I am Jim Beaver, and this is the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone. Grab the popcorn. All right. Welcome to the General Tire. What is this? The Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone.
That's what you say it is. I still don't like to admit I'm doing this full time yet.
Okay. We'll go with that. You don't like to admit. When you say I don't like to admit, it means it's actually a thing.
Yeah, I didn't say that's not true. I said I don't like to admit it yet. So
we won't admit we are here at Nissan Stadium with Kawasaki to do radio.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But we are here at Nissan Stadium with Kawasaki taking in the new KRX 4. We had some fun last night, buzzing around. And I don't know, it's just cool vibe. I don't know. It's like we talked about off air. It's kind of rad what Kawasaki does and how they've kind of marketed and gone after different audiences. And you've been in the UTV and side-by-side industry for a long time. Kawi's taking a complete different approach to things. Kind of refreshing.
This is the first time I've been to a demo event where I'm not in dirt.
Right?
We actually get to wear black clothes, have a black tablecloth. This is not normal.
They're not gray.
Or orange, or, yeah.
That's why I laugh. Everybody in our industry loves black, and it's like the worst color ever. We're out in the heat. Everybody, if you're in a black shirt, you're sweating. It's like extra hot. Your clothes turn gray. The easy ups, canopies, wraps, everything just goes to hell, kind of.
It is funny. We have our schedules, right? Talking with other manufacturers and teams, and oh yeah, we know. You don't get your new canopies and your new flags ordered until after Hammers or after this event.
Yeah, because Hammers just destroys everything.
It's like Baja dust, right?
Yeah.
Once you take your vehicle down to Baja, it's never the same after that.
No. Oh, it's just like taking a new vehicle and going like mud bogging or something in it. It's like you're never going to get it that clean again. It's just one of those where you have to be. It's like our Bronco. Our Bronco still hasn't really done a whole lot because we know once we do, and it will at some point.
It's a mall crawler for right now. I'll admit it. It's pretty right now, but we will use it. We just haven't really felt the need or had the location to have to do it yet. The nice thing about Moab, it's pretty clean, so.
Yeah, Moab definitely is slick rock. You don't get too dirty there. Yeah. So, yeah, we are out here at the arena. Got the little electrode bike. And we got a chance to take a spin on that.
It's so much cooler than I even knew it was.
We will have 2 of those in the garage. Hands down, that is happening.
Like I said, I'm picturing the mods with some foot pegs and little billet anodized parts.
The funny thing is, I'm looking at that going, I have no problem paying full retail, just buying a couple of them because they're just rad. And here we are, like 2 full adults going, these are rad. Like the market that it's aimed at, kids, like how much freaking fun are the kids going to have on those? Like,
oh, yeah. I know how much it rips with me on it. I can only imagine a kid full send on that thing.
Yeah, you imagine like a little 40, 50-pound kid. That thing would rip. Take it to a BMX track or something like that. My gosh.
Oh, yeah. I laughed, too, because I put my feet down and do the typical kid drag, and everybody looked at me. Hi.
It's rad, though. I love that. Like we were talking, and, it's Kawasaki's got, like, stepping stones for everybody. Now they have the most entry-level of entry-level that you can get into, to work your way up, with Team Green. It's kind of cool just to see that ladder system they've kind of got built in now.
Yeah, you can definitely be a lifer. That's proof and point right here, so.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We got KRX 4s out here. We're in the shadows of Nissan Stadium here in Nashville, and I got to say, you and I had never been to Nashville, and I'm kind of sold on Nashville.
Yeah, I think we did Nashville all right for how short we were here. I had our one rowdy night a little bit, and we're responsible somewhat, as much as you and I could be yesterday. But it was honestly last night in the stadium, in the light, standing there looking up at the empty crowd, and then just having, 6 cars out there? Just all go. What I like is the fact they actually let you drive the cars. Because some demos you go on, they've got slow keys, they bog you down, and they're like, okay, we're going to walk you through this the first time around, and then after that, like, we're just going to go for it. So they'll check it, and it's really cool what they actually let you do with the car.
Well, and that was funny because I was watching the demos, and like you said, I was like, how reined in are they going to keep people? And they kind of let people drift them and have a little fun, and I was like, that's pretty rad for a demo. I've been on other ones that are like Glamis, it's very controlled, and you're going like 20, 25 miles an hour, and yeah, you're in the dunes, but you're not really dooning, and it was just, that was cool. I mean, to watch the fans, and obviously they let us open one up a little bit later and have a little bit of fun, and that was a riot in itself, but yeah, but I mean, it's an experience like we were talking last night. How many people have actually been on the floor of a football stadium? Not many. How many have been on the floor of a football stadium and got to drive something around it on a track?
Well, half the staff hadn't even been to the stadium before, so.
And that was what was awesome when they let the staff, have the last hour to go and experience it. And I'm like, that's rad. Like, that's the way it should be.
Oh, no, they're definitely, it's a group activity for sure.
Yeah.
The more and more we get to meet everybody, it's cool to see the dynamic.
I love our Kawasaki family. Like, there's some awesome people in this company. It's,
they definitely consider us the adopted children, but.
Yeah. We're kind of the wild cards. We bring the fun. Not that they don't have fun without us, but we have a lot of fun.
No, I think, like I said, we like kind of just poking the bear a little bit with them. It's fun.
And they've been receptive to it.
Yeah, they're good sports.
They're good sports. But, so we're out here. Got some awesome guests lined up for this show. I know we got Cynthia Gutierrez and Barry, who drives the Zombie truck. We got Brandon Vinson with Gravedigger. I think we got a couple of our good friends, Ken and Mike from Kawasaki, are going to come on the show. So should be a solid day out here at the Tennessee Titans Nissan Stadium. And it's a little humid out here, but
we tried to get our friend Paul on, but he wasn't
our friend Paul. We're going to throw our friend Paul under the bus. We'll say our friend Paul. If you want to know who we're talking about, go back and listen to our show from the Side by Side Adventure Rally. We had a riot with Paul. I don't know if we could top that one, so it's kind of one of those where maybe we're ending on a high note, beginning and ending on a high note with Paul. No, we're gonna have him back.
That was just chapter 1.
That was chapter 1. Yep. Found out he was Captain Ron for a while.
Legitimately. We need to get him a Hawaiian shirt.
I haven't seen that movie in a while. I almost feel like we need to download it for our next flight.
Oh, man.
Captain Ron. But, good times. By the way, we got to slide in a plug for our good friends at Band from Nashville. We were at Kid Rock's bar. If you are in the Nashville area or anywhere, you get a chance to see Band from Nashville on stage. They do a ton of covers, and I mean a ton. They go from everything from Blink-182 to Elton John to Motley Crue to Beastie Boys to it's mind-blowing how good they are and how they change it up. And we had a blast. I mean, it was one of those where it was actually free entertainment, and I'm going, I would have paid $50 for a ticket to see this band.
Oh, yeah, and Rachel was a riot.
Yeah, so... Yeah, if you have a chance, go and check them out on Instagram, Band from Nashville. Find out where they're playing. But if you're ever in the Nashville area, I'm pretty sure at this point they can probably have a gig any night of the week they want anywhere. But, they're rad. Worth going and watching, hands down. So, all right, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with some guests right here on the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with who? Yeah, Brittney Cardone. General Tire delivers for whatever life brings your way. General Tire's Grabber X3 all-season mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. General Tire delivers. Check out GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, official tire of the Jim Beaver Show.
Conditions off the pavement are always changing, so why settle for a light bar that just turns on and off? The Rigid Adapt is a revolutionary new light bar that will automatically select from 8 beam patterns that range from a widespread 90-degree flood to a 15-degree spot based on your vehicle's speed. Try that with your knockoff light bar. A dash-mounted controller allows the user to toggle between adaptive mode, beam patterns, and RGBW accent lighting. With Adapt, it's easier than ever to own the night.
Dig what you're hearing? Well, do us a favor. Head over to Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone and catch all of our back episodes.
Welcome to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone, out here with Kawasaki in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, doing a big activation for the KRX 4. We got Ken and Mike with Kawasaki here. Brittney's got a little bit of an icebreaker. I have absolutely no idea what we're getting into to start this thing off. So we're going to talk about KRX 4 here in a minute and what we're doing out here. But what is this icebreaker, Brittney? I heard Neanderthal.
I could actually be talking about it right now. You wouldn't know.
Oh.
Because the name of the game, basically, it's a simple concept and yet somehow so difficult. We're going to take this can, for example. You have to describe this can in one-syllable words. So you think of something, and then you have to start saying one-syllable words. It's the only thing. So I'm going to put a one-syllable word out there. I'd say can. You guys would guess. You can't guess, I'd say green. It's amazing. Like 3-4 words in, all of a sudden you run out of words. It's a simple, stupid game.
Okay.
But
You got to guess what you're talking about.
yeah. Okay. So I'm going to let you go because I can't think of words right now. So you think of a word. Let's not pick something in the parking lot, please. And let's not pick Kawasaki because got to at least try out this one, but you're going to learn how.
This is a heck of an icebreaker here.
Exactly.
I didn't know this was going to be work.
Yeah.
I thought I was just coming in to talk. Now I got to think about what I got to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm on the page here. All right. Let's go.
Go.
So I have to describe it, or
Yeah, but only one-syllable words, one at a time.
So we're guessing, all of you, or just
Yeah, we're all guessing to try and figure out his.
Okay.
Backward charades, pretty much.
got it.
Brown,
Dirt,
oval,
Track,
lace,
shoe,
Shoes.
grass.
football.
Got it.
Damn.
Ah.
That's a good one.
Okay.
But you see, like, it seems so easy. You're like, oh, all these one-syllable words. And then when it comes down to it, you're like, man. Or you say it, and then it's 2, and you're like, it doesn't count. Ken? Since you want to work.
Okay, so the word, it can only be described in one syllable?
One
or could
syllable.
Yeah, so
words.
you could think of, it could be the onomatopoeia if you want. But
Okay.
good luck describing that in one-syllable words.
Okay. Air.
Supercross.
Nope.
Tire.
Nope. High.
Plane.
Yes. I was looking for airplane, but
Okay.
I'll take plane.
Okay.
That was pretty good.
All right.
All right, Mike, you're up.
You don't look around and pick something. 'Cause we're gonna
Just trying to throw you guys off.
Oh, is that what this is?
All right. I had one, and then it's gone. Okay. This is my thinking face. People can't see
This
that.
is why I'm going last, because
yeah.
I still haven't thought of a word yet.
The game master over here still hasn't come up with anything. You've had all day to orchestrate something really good. No.
Nope.
Okay. Large.
Mountain.
Don't say monster truck.
Okay, well,
Okay. You're up, Britt.
White.
Snow.
What?
I know you too well.
nailed it?
I know you too
All
well.
right. This game's easy. I thought yours was hard.
Wow, that
I
was
guess
pretty good.
we're warmed up. I mean, is there
Yeah.
anything you guys want to touch on real quick before you run off?
We are here at, what is this, Nissan Stadium, home of the Tennessee Titans with Kawasaki. We got this amazing monster truck with a KRX 1000 livery. I mean, I guess give us a lowdown, Mike and Ken. What are we doing here? I mean, this is this amazing footprint. I saw the track earlier. We got some people that are going to get to try these KRX 4s out on a pretty fun track in the middle of a stadium. Not many people get to do that.
No, absolutely. Well, us here at Kawasaki, we've been thinking of ways, how do we get our KRX? You know, oftentimes there's tons of great trails, but they're not close to our dealers. They're not close to our customers in the major metros. So what better way to partner with our friends at Feld and Monster Jam and bring a side-by-side demo into a major metro area like Nashville, but also on the floor of an NFL stadium, which is pretty unique. So if you're a Titans fan, getting the opportunity to be down on the floor, not only where your favorite athletes play, but then getting to have some fun in a KRX, there's no better combination. So it's going to be a nice hot couple days here, but we're looking forward. We just launched the new Terex KRX 4 1000. We're going to have both it as well as the current two-seater KRX 1000 available for folks to come demo. And after this, we'll move on to next weekend in Cleveland on the July 1st or July 4th holiday weekend. So a great opportunity. And Mike, you've been here for a couple days now, sweating and getting the dirt in, getting the branding, and tell us about what the experience will be once they're down on track.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Have you even got to drive the car yet?
I have not got to drive. Well, I got to drive the KRX 4.
I was like,
which
golf
is
carts
exciting.
don't count.
Yeah, so like Ken was saying, it was brand new. So we're really just excited to get everybody out here. The dirt is on the stadium ground, and the track is ready. I think today we're starting out with some consumers. And throughout the weekend, we'll have waves of consumers and dealers. And really, we're just pumped to get people in these units and excited about the new KRX as well as the two-seaters and show what they can do. I mean, we got some great obstacles out there. We're not sending anybody 30 feet in the air, but we did try to simulate kind of a Monster Jam experience in a gorgeous stadium like Nissan Stadium. So we're really excited to get people pumped up about the Kawasaki. And
They are decent-sized obstacles still, though.
Yeah, no, we were out there watching. I mean, like the one downhill, I mean, it's pretty legit. I mean, it's going to be – I think it's going to be fun for consumers. I mean, this is a pretty cool demo course.
Yeah, we get them to open it up. You know, they're able to get some acceleration, hit a big sand turn, some little steep climbs, some little descents, feel the engine braking, feel the power, the breakover angle, all that good stuff. So
Hopefully no K-rails.
no K-rails.
no K-rails.
This is the first time anybody, I guess, consumer-wise, has been able to get behind the wheel. I know we just had a group go out. These are the first consumers to ever drive the KRX 4, correct?
That is correct. It's not even in dealers yet. Dealers just took their orders starting last week, and they'll be arriving in the next couple weeks. But this is the very first consumer experience. We launched the unit a couple weeks ago at Sand Hollow, Utah. Had some of our internal staff and some of our top side-by-side dealers from across the nation come out and get to try it for the first time, as well as the media. And so now it's the consumer's time to get behind the wheel and experience how great this new KRX 4 is.
Well, I know, too, Tennessee's a great riding area. I know they've got Brimstone Recreational Area and a lot of trail riding, stuff like that. And, and KRX, and obviously the KRX 4 now, I mean, this is tailor-made for the environment here in Tennessee. So I think it's really cool to have it here, and have consumers, that are able to drive something that they can immediately take out on trails and have a good time and a great experience.
Absolutely, and we're so excited to finally have a 4-passenger option with our sports side-by-side. The KRX has been super successful for us, but the number one question we got was, when's the 4-seater coming? Yeah. Because I got to bring the whole family out. So now we have that, and you're exactly right, Jim. This area is got a really rich riding community. Brimstone, Windrock, tons of great trail systems that we've been here with the KRX Demo Tour. The Demo Tour travels the country year-round, going to all different rallies and ride locations and trail systems, and now with select stadiums. So.
That's what I love. Like, you guys have done your homework. We all know that. But it's a see it, touch it, feel it situation. You can look at pictures all day online, but until you actually get to see the quality of the vehicle and sit in it and feel the suspension and really kind of fully immerse yourself, you don't realize the details that are there until you actually get to experience it. And it's exactly like you're saying. You've been to all these trails. You guys have tested it out and said, oh, it needs this, it's lacking this. This is why we chose this wheelbase. So it's every little detail from bumper to bumper on it is incredible.
I know one of the things on display here I'm seeing for the first time, but Brittney's probably most stoked on this is the electrode over here. I think this is going to be huge for Kawasaki, but complete new segment that Kawasaki's moving into.
Yeah, our first step into the EV world, if you will, starting with the electric balance bike, the electrode. It's going to be a great option. We've got a lot of features that also make it a little more approachable for kids of all sizes. Whether you're small, 3-year-old up to a 10-year-old,
wait, including this big
I
kid
think
right here?
there's adult kids that are really excited about it.
We do have a weight limit. We're not going to tell you you should do it, but it is built by Kawasaki. So we tend to build things pretty strong and test them pretty heavily. So. But the adjustability on it, the internal battery and the battery life on it, the hub motor on it, everything. Again, when we come to market with something similar to KRX, we do our homework. We do put in the R&D hours and time to make sure we can bring something to market that's ready to go. So yeah, really looking forward to that as for the electrode coming in at a good price too, and this will just be our first dip our toe in the water with. Lots more on the EV side to come in the years coming.
Ooh, a little hint
That
there.
was a little hint there. Dot. I like it. I like it.
My main thing I like, Jim and I discovered this earlier, is it will fit in our OGO bag perfectly when we take it back home.
Yeah, and I like the
It's
segue.
just that right size.
I'll get to put Ken on the spot here. Now, do we get to take this with the demo tour so we can show it off for the consumers?
For display, yeah.
Yeah,
It does have a weight rating.
right,
The
all
weight
right.
rating is 99 pounds, so I think you might have to slim down a little bit if you're wanting to do some laps on it.
Yeah, we'll have to let the team.
I have an off-the-grid request. I want to see El Hombre versus Jeremy McGrath on electrodes.
Well, I think I hope we start getting that way. Our KLX 110 is the ultimate pit bike,
Yeah.
right? You see them everywhere, and so hopefully these electrodes start being that option too.
Yeah, it's funny. The 110s have become huge. You know what I mean? They've got the races. I think even X Games, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've got a whole division for racing 110s now, and it's crazy.
Works has
Yeah.
2 classes. I think they have a kids and an adult class on Friday nights of the race,
Right.
which is great.
Yeah,
So.
it's just awesome how something like that was designed and brought out, for kids is now adults have gravitated
Right.
towards it. There's this huge aftermarket.
They knew what
and
they
everything
were
else.
doing.
It's
Yeah.
huge. Yeah, absolutely.
So.
And it gets people excited about Supercross and
Yeah,
getting
it gets
on.
them on a green bike early, whether
Yeah.
young or old. It's enjoyable for everybody.
Well, it is. You guys really have kind of the full pack, the life stages right there ready to go. Like, you can stay Team Green
Yeah.
for
Well, I
the
know.
second you start on a 2-wheel at this
Even
point.
one of your favorite bikes in the lineup, the 112.
Oh.
And you guys just redid the 250. It's an all-new 250 engine. I mean, you've really done your homework, like you said, from start to finish. Everybody's life cycle. You can kind of continue with the brand and move up on bikes.
Yeah, exactly. We like to think that we've got something in our lineup between our KX competition bikes and then our KLX trail bikes in a variety of sizes and CC sizes that family can come in and everybody can leave on a green bike. And now with the electrode, we can start them even younger, which is awesome. So.
A new kids ATV this year too. We didn't even
Yeah,
talk
our
about that.
KFX 50 and 90 cc, both of those got refreshed this year. So yeah, we've got youth models all the way up to our championship-winning KX 450.
Awesome.
They need like the Apple program. How you get the new iPhones and you get to
trade
trade
up.
in.
Trade up,
Yeah,
trade
you
up.
just a lifetime at the beginning. You buy the lifetime's card, and then from there you just got to do the trade up program.
If you go to your local Kawasaki deal, they would be happy to trade you up every year. No problem.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Awesome, guys. Well, we appreciate you having us out here. I'm really excited to see these fans when they come back in, these consumers for the first time, the smiles on their faces, and I'm looking forward to spending some more time in a KRX4.
Awesome, guys. Looking forward to it.
Thanks for the time.
General Tire offers a wide variety of options that are designed to deliver for whatever life brings your way. Whether you have a truck, car, or SUV, General Tire delivers for whatever you drive. From the long-lasting all-season Altimax RT43 to the aggressive all-terrain Grabber ATX, General Tire covers on-road performance, off-road capability, and durability. General Tire delivers. For more information, drive over to GeneralTire.com. General Tire, official tire of the Jim Beaver Show. Don't just shred your way through any off-road rugged terrain. Get into gear with GSP XTV and let us redefine your adventure. The GSP advantage of quality and performance sets a standard for UTV axles. We strive to provide premium ATV and UTV axles to keep you shreddy ready. Kick up some dirt and get in the driver's seat with GSP XTV. With over 35 years of experience, drive with a company you can trust. Drive with GSP. For more information, please visit us at gspxtv.com today. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out visionwheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Social media? Yeah, we've got that. Jim Beaver 15 on all major platforms, and Jim Beaver Show, JB15 Group, and B Cardone 15 on the gram.
Welcome back to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone out here at Nashville, Tennessee. We got driver of the Gravedigger, Brandon Vinson here. I know you just got to test out the KRX, but you're not racing this weekend, right? You're just out hanging out, having a good time?
I am racing this weekend.
Oh,
I got
you are?
the call. My buddy Adam, best friends for a long time, drives a Gravedigger. He's out this weekend, so they asked me to fill in. So I get to fill in, drive Gravedigger, and rip these KRX 1000s up. And I just got off the track right here in Nissan Stadium. These things are phenomenal. I drove the four-seater. You can change the suspension on the fly, soft, normal.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, I couldn't believe it. And the track that they have set up down there, they have logs and everything to test these things out. So I'm super pumped, man. So excited about it. And I just couldn't believe the difference. I was in Palm Desert when they first unveiled the KRX 1000, and to watch them evolve into what they are now is great.
So I got a question for you. I come from a trophy truck background, race trophy trucks, and finally electronically controlled suspensions finally making its way into desert racing, at that level. It's been in the UTVs for a while, but Monster Jam, with what you guys do, is there any way to adjust the suspension? Is all stuff that has to be done in the pits? Or do you think that's kind of the next thing you guys are going to go for, in Monster Jam?
Yeah. You know what? We are trying to evolve our shocks every year, every day. We have people working on them. But you can adjust ours on the fly. You just run in the log splitters is what we like to call them. So you can soften them or stiffen them by, basically manually doing it. But to have it inside the cab is the goal, you know what I mean, where you can do it on the fly. Because we're jumping so many different jumps out there on the track, from small to big, steep, laid back. It just depends on what it is.
Hold on, I missed something. There's jumps out there?
Huge, big.
No, it's funny because I'm looking at them and I'm going we walked the course and and I looked at some of those and the lips and stuff like that. I'm like, you guys are insane with the speed you hit, and just to me it's mind blowing. As a guy that's done my fair share of jumping, I look at that going, this is crazy.
But it's such a different application than what we're used to, all right? Because we're used to getting the car to kind of do the opposite of what you guys are doing with it. So it's interesting. Actually, a few shock tuners, I've got to kind of watch the background and see how they set it up on the compression, the rebound, and the up travel and stuff. And it's night and day different from the stuff
everybody that knows does trophy cars or desert racing are like, we don't know what to do with you guys. You know what I mean? It's totally backwards because we're jumping so big at one time. The hits are one-time hits that, and you guys are more of like all the time going. But yeah, it's hopefully we'll get there where we can be able to adjust on the fly and stuff in the trucks. But it's super fun to do Monster Jam. It's fun that Kawasaki is collabing with Monster Jam. We're out here doing this together, and it actually gives everybody a chance to get on a track and see how big these jumps are. Because in the stands or on TV or YouTube, they don't look as big, but they are massive out there on the track. So.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. It's, whether you're talking about, Supercross, what Feld does there. Well, you watch on TV and you see things flying through the air, but you're actually there on the stadium floor and you go, man, this is massive. I mean, it's...
Yeah. We're taking a 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck on 66-inch BKT tires, and we're jumping 40, 50 foot in the air. And to be here, for the fans to see it in person, it's definitely, you got to see it in person, you know what I mean? So it's cool. I'd like to take one of these KRXs out there and jump them and see what they got. They got a good step up out there for the KRX, but
they were a little hesitant about you guys getting in the cars. I was laughing. They're like, well, only one at a time, because if we put two out on the course at the same time, we know what's going to happen.
It's game time. It goes right into competitive mode, and I can see they were a little bit nervous, but they always are. Anytime a Monster Jam driver gets into something like that, so.
So we're talking about game time. I mean, you're sporting around a pretty big trophy right now, right? 2022 World Finals winner racing.
Yes, World Finals racing champion. Still on cloud nine about it. Still crazy. People talking about it everywhere. And to actually beat Ryan Anderson, I'm his former crew chief, so I worked on his truck for 8 years. That's how I got my start in Monster Jam. I rinsed on these trucks day in and day out, 80, 90 hours a week, and got the opportunity to get behind the wheel of Gravedigger. And I meet, basically my best friend, my buddy, in the finals. I've worked on this truck 8 years, and I beat him. So it doesn't get any sweeter than that. The story's great, and I'm going to hold that trophy up for a long time. And that first one, and to do it like that in the rain in Orlando, my family was there. It was a great moment, and cherish it forever, man. It's very cool.
Yeah. How's the biggest difference switching it up between freestyle and racing, things like that? Because you got to approach it completely different.
Yeah, racing, you got to be dialed in. You got to really be, on the gas, on the brake, dialing in on the turns. Freestyle, you're just going out there, going big, trying to get a wow factor, crashing in between your run, do a backflip, whatever you want to do to wow the fans, and hopefully the truck makes it through and you come out on top. But
that's a very different strategy, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Just send it and hope for the best.
That's it. You know what I mean? Point, shoot, have fun, and I might plan the first jump, but after that, wherever the truck lands or bounces, we go for it.
Yeah.
And, it's fun, man. I'm living my dream. I'm having a great time doing it, and looking forward to it this weekend. Tuesday they told me I was going to drive here, so pumped about it.
Yeah. Well, and what's it like driving Gravedigger? I mean, there's monster trucks, and then there's Gravedigger. I mean, this is the most iconic monster truck of all time. What's it like? I mean, got to be a little bit of pressure on your shoulders just because of, it's legendary.
Yeah, it's legendary. We're celebrating 40 years of Gravedigger this year. Dennis Anderson created this truck in 1982, and like you said, iconic, legendary. So the pressure's there, but the pressure's there to be able to go out there and compete. You don't want to let the fans down. They diehard fans, Gravedigger fans. They've been there and supported us for this long, 40 years, and that's where the pressure lies, is being able to go out there and put on a great show for them and leave them with smiles on their faces and want to come back to Monster Jam. So I just go out there with a clear mind, go out there with the mindset of doing good and throwing it down, all costs necessary, and having a good time doing it.
I like all costs necessary. So mechanic question, how many parts over the 40 years, is there anything that is still original on that car? Because obviously things have to get changed out.
Yeah. But, is there any of the design cues or anything like that that's still the same as the original one?
Put me on the spot. Man, I think everything now is pretty much transitioning to custom parts. But it's not far off, you know what I mean? It's evolved a lot, but chassis design and all that stuff is evolved. And, we're just running billet parts and just every day making parts stronger. From where we were using stock knuckles or cast components. It's all billet now, so I
Hold on, stock? Stock what?
Yeah, we call them stock parts, but yeah, everything billet and all
I'd love to know what the original VIN said on that.
Yeah, super. So to answer your question, I don't think anything from back in the day is on the truck now.
That's
you
a
know,
fair
it's all
answer.
evolved.
I was just curious. For all we know, you had one bolt that was sitting there, had paint on it just because it was the original one you guys are
Yeah, a
holding
little
out.
superstitious.
Somebody
Exactly,
probably,
yeah.
a super fan will probably listen to this and hit me on Instagram and like, listen here, this is original. So.
That's what you got to love about
Yeah.
Monster Jam is there are those super fans that know, like they know the legacy, the history of Gravedigger down
it.
to like every last win,
They keep us in check.
Yeah.
They give us our stats. You know what I mean? We have kids out there that stat us all weekend or in all year. So
Yeah.
it's great to have those fans out there to do that.
Yeah,
And they're diehard fans. That's what's so great. Like you
Yeah.
said, half the
Yes.
time they know more than you do about yourself.
Yeah, I got a kid that comes to over 75 Monster Jam events a year. His name's Reagan, and he will fly sometimes. He'll probably be here in Nissan Stadium, and if there's a Monster Jam somewhere tomorrow, he'll go fly and get on a plane and go to it. East Coast, West Coast, it don't matter. He watched Tyler run in Green Bay and then flew all the way to California the next day to watch me run.
That's
pretty wild.
crazy.
That is
Dedicated.
impressive.
That's
And
dedicated.
we try to do everything we can for those kids, backstage and hang out, and so it's cool. The support system there for the fans is awesome, and we try to give that support back to them. So
It's pretty rad with the pit parties, things like that. It's not like going to a NASCAR race, and it's not like I want to throw NASCAR under the bus because they're racing here in Nashville this
Yeah.
weekend too. But you come to the Monster Jam, it's a completely different experience for the fans. I mean, they get to know you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of them you follow back on social media, the super fans, things like that. It's one of those where you really they feel connected to you.
yeah, and they are, because we are the only sporting event that mingles with our fans like everybody does. From the pit party to pre-show interviews in the stands to meet and greets. We do all kinds of things with our fans, and that's what it's about. That's what, Monster Jam's about, a family atmosphere, about the fans and hanging out and making it happen. So we try to go the extra mile to do that for them.
I think that's part of having the whole grassroots drivers, right? Grassroots staff. You talk about how you moved up into Gravedigger and how these fans are literally have been kids starting in the stands and then growing up and becoming these super fans, and their kids become fans. So it is a whole family event like that. It's neat because it's, I don't want to say attainable. Nobody's going to go out tomorrow and start driving a monster truck, but it is neat to watch those evolutions and to kind of see everybody move around.
Yeah, and you evolve in the sport, and we were fans too. We loved watching monster trucks and Monster Jam, and I'm driving Gravedigger now. My kids are in the stands watching. They want to drive Monster Jam trucks, and that involvement is what makes it go around. So it's been great.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you taking the time, man. Stoked that you got a chance to drive the KRX4. Had a good time in that, and good luck this weekend, buddy.
Appreciate it. I think if they let me, I'm going to try to ride again, so we'll see.
Come out with us. We'll go have
come
some
out
fun.
with us.
I'm down. Let's do it.
When it's time to replace the tires on your vehicle, General Tire delivers the tires you need for both your next big adventure and your daily commute. Whether you need all-season traction, lasting treadwear, or a quiet drive, General Tires are designed to deliver whatever life brings your way. From all-season ultra-high-performance tires for passenger cars and crossovers to extreme all-season mud terrain and tires for light trucks and SUVs, General Tire delivers great performance. To find your ideal tire, visit GeneralTire.com. General Tire, official tire of The Jim Beaver Show. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle. Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Thanks for listening to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone. Available online on SiriusXM on AM/FM networks across the U.S. and internationally on the American Forces Network. Head to JimBeaver15.com for all the details. Welcome back to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone out here in Nashville, Tennessee at Nissan Stadium, home of the Tennessee Titans. We got Barry Musauer as well as Cynthia Gutierrez standing by mid-interview, taking some Q&A, talking about Monster Jam trucks, the KRX4, Kawasaki's, and a whole lot of fun. So we're going to jump into this Q&A. Brittany's got a question for him.
I am going to say, like, it's a little bit ironic, right? Because you think, like, America is, like, the truck scene, right? As commercial as you can get on, like, that whole hashtag America.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm like,
it's red, white,
it's
and
such
blue.
an ironic representation. It's awesome, though.
That's great.
I know. I was kind of like, wow, this is like red, white and blue, and I'm Canadian, but it's perfect fit because, I've been in the United States for so long, and it's kind of like my second home. So, I'm super proud, to represent a truck like that.
Let's get you some ripped sleeves
I
and a
know.
trucker hat.
Yeah. I do it. I always have my
Halloween.
trucker hat. Last week I had like work boots, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, you look like a redneck." I'm like,
Dude, steel-toe Wolverines.
We walked in the Rolex store before the event, and she had trucker boots on in the Rolex store. Here's this polished sales guy coming up to us, and he's probably like, "What is going on?"
Who's this hillbilly girl here?
I'm like, "Hey."
Want to see your Rolexes?
This weekend I bring my cowboy boots, so I did a little swap. Because
Tennessee.
I never get to wear them. I have like nice one, like Ariat in my, in my bedroom, but we don't wear that kind of boots back home. We don't really have a lot of country festivals, so it's my chance this weekend.
I was going to say, we were down there with the boot store. It was like, buy one pair, get two free or something like that. So it was like...
It's like the paradise of it.
You bring your boots?
I bought a hat.
Oh, you bought a hat.
I bought
All
a
right.
hat, and it's going to make an appearance when everybody least expects it.
I know.
Oh, are you going out on Broadway with your hat? Nope. I'm going to get you when you least expect it, and hopefully it's a big hit.
I love it.
That's one thing that I think is awesome, though, about Monster Jam. It's like, I know you were kind of one that brought in, like, the zombie arms, and you get to kind of create a character and a thing around Lucas Oil. It's like they kind of let you guys kind of run with it. Like, you get to infuse your personality in there and kind of you really, like, take on the persona. I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that's the thing nowadays. It's like being a good racer is, a must. I mean, you have to have the skill, you have to have, like, the reaction and all this, but you also have it's good to have that personality because, to get sponsored, you have to be able to talk about it. And so it's like a mix. If you can get both, it's like awesome. And the fans love, I think, to get to know us more. And, sometimes you get out of your truck after a victory and it's like you don't even have to talk, just your expression. And, like he saw me when I win, I'm like, I'm out of control. Like I get so excited and it's like people get so excited just to see me, on top of my truck. So it's fun to have that connection with the fans.
What, you don't pull that Ricky Bobby awkward interview? I don't know what to do with my hands.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Depends of the interview.
Yeah. So I know. So here's a good question for you. So I know her background. I mean, I've known her for years. She's done off-road and motocross, things like that. How did you get into Monster Jam? What was your background? How did you get plucked into Monster Jam and driving the zombie truck?
So mine goes way back. I was 6 years old. My mom took me to my first Monster Jam, and I just fell in love. 6 years old, these trucks are larger than life to you at that moment. And I knew at that moment, I was like, man, I got to do this. This is going to be my passion. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I'm a city boy, so we didn't have the tractors on the farm or anything like that. So I got into radio-controlled cars at an early age. Probably like one Christmas, I got my first RC car, like a hobby grade one at age 11. And then I just loved it, where you could actually tinker on the RC cars and make them faster. You could fix them if you broke them. So eventually we went to a race. And then I started going to more and more races. And then I met up with a guy who said, let's have a race at Digger's Dungeon, home of Gravedigger. This was in 2006. So at that moment, there was a lot of Monster Jam trucks in and out of that shop because they maintained them at that shop. So one of the Monster Jam executives happened to be there during the time we held the race, and he took notice to me, and he said, man, if you can drive an RC truck that good, you'd probably drive the real thing. So they gave me a shot in the test field. A week later, I was living a childhood dream, driving a Monster Jam truck. I mean, I'd followed the sport for basically my whole life. And then I got that one big break, and it took 4 years. It didn't happen overnight. It took 4 years to get hired on professionally, and
That's
the rest
awesome.
is history, man. 11 years
Only
in now.
4 years, right? 4 years, anyone can.
Yeah,
I mean,
college degree.
Yeah, it took me 2 years too. I mean, sometimes people ask us how you get into the sport, but there's so many different ways,
Yeah.
The background to all the drivers is completely different. It's
it
like
is.
Brandon yesterday, he was a mechanic who got, moved up, and it's like, it's kind of rad.
I know, and I feel like sometimes it's just like if you don't give up, there's always, that chance.
Yeah.
And I just think about Tutal as one of our driver, David. He was a mechanic forever. And
He was my mechanic.
Yeah, and he wanted to be a driver so bad, and
Yeah.
he just kept trying, and it took probably over 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, he was my crew chief in 2012, and he's just his first season driving. So I mean, 10 years.
Everything's possible. You
Yeah.
know, it's just if you really want something, you can make it happen.
Yep.
That's
sure.
awesome.
He stuck it out.
I'm trying to find some of the old RC car pictures I have. 'Cause I guarantee
Nice.
he'll be like, I know that one.
So they owned HCR Suspension, the UTV company, her and her dad. But before that, they made all the billet parts, HCR for like.
It was hardcore racing components.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was their family's
I
company.
literally was,
so she grew up
8
in the
years
RC.
old anodizing those parts.
Small world. Yeah, it's crazy.
So I'm laughing because I'm like, so I still have all the the themed E-Maxes and T-Maxes.
Yep.
So I still have all those original runs sitting in my basement right now.
No kidding.
Like the Spider-Man truck and what other
Yeah, she's
ones?
got literally all these magazine covers, like these vehicles that were on these magazine covers sitting in the basement. It's rad.
Yeah, I used to drive Spider-Man.
So what's funny is like Barry say he was good, with RC, and he went to Monster Jam truck. Well, I tried the opposite this year. I tried to do a race with RC, and I need some practice.
It's the backwards, right? I can't do it when it starts coming back at me. I get
How much
dyslexic.
damage did you do to the car?
I broke it pretty early. it was funny because in their tour everybody had one and they practiced all year.
Yeah.
And we know Barry's really good at it. Well, I was like, I got the car a week before, a couple of days before.
Yeah.
So I had probably 15 minutes to 20 minutes of practice before the race. I was
She
like,
did all right though.
Yeah.
For
Are you
first
the
time.
one where they've got the big ramp and you got to line it up and then you always go past the ramp and miss it at full speed?
Oh yeah, I did that a couple of times. I was like, back up, Terry. Back up, Terry.
That's what we were at Pastrana's last year, and they had this big, huge, 6-foot quarter pipe, and they were launching the RC cars off it. I was like, I want to try that. It literally took me 10 times to hit the ramp. I was going full speed, and I just blow right by the ramp. And I'm like, if I ever hit the ramp, this thing's going to go to the moon.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good time though. We
Yeah,
had a lot
we
of
had
fun. I'm excited because next year Monster Jam World Final is coming to Nashville.
Yeah.
This year it was in Orlando, but next year it's actually here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have it's a one-day event, so it's gonna be a packed one-day event.
Yeah, I
try
love
to
it.
do RC, try to do everything. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's kind of crazy they started rotating because, Las Vegas was World Finals, everybody for years, it was just Las Vegas. And then Orlando, now Nashville. It's almost like the Super Bowl now. They're kind of rotating it around,
I kind of like that. It's kind of cool because it gives the chance to some of the fans, that cannot travel as much, when we travel. But Las Vegas is definitely something a little bit special. But maybe one day we'll get back because we're waiting on the stadium, brand new stadium. So hopefully they let us put some dirt in their new stadium. We'll see.
Yeah, they're probably apprehensive right now. They're like, man, this pristine, brand new stadium. We'll wait a few years before we let those guys get in here.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I hope so.
It'll go back. So I know I saw you over there, and I know she's been scoping everything out. We're here at Kawasaki. What were you eyeing over there? There's something you think you need in your garage there, Barry?
Yeah, I was, there's a lot of cool stuff over here. These KRXs are pretty cool. I see you guys got this new electric little mini bike over here. It's pretty cool. So we're just scoping everything out. I'm in love with anything with four wheels and maybe 2 wheels too.
Well, it's like we were telling her, if you guys want later, they're doing demos on the track and stuff like that. If you guys want to get behind the wheel of a KRX, we can definitely make it happen. So.
All right.
Hold on though, because they did tell me their rule is they only send one of the truck drivers out
at a time
per cycle because they know what you guys will do.
Yeah, I was
That's like Brandon wanted to have other people out there yesterday, and they're like, no, we don't want you getting racy.
Yeah, that would happen.
They'll let Barry go out, and then they'll let Cynthia go out,
Right.
but not at the same time because you guys, I don't know, they would probably come back not looking like
They
they
try
did
to
before.
race each other.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's not the track.
No backflip, no backflip.
Right.
Yeah, but for sure, we'll definitely stay and
right.
check it out.
No
Awesome,
doubt.
guys. Well, I know obviously World Finals is over. We got the big show here. Were you both in London last week?
No, we were in Kansas City.
You guys were in Kansas City.
Yes.
Well, yeah, we have almost a mini tour after World Finals, so we
Yeah.
have a lot of cool stadium. And the cool thing is we are doing next week Cleveland.
Cleveland.
First
Yeah.
time doing the stadium in Cleveland. So he's from there. So it's exciting. I used to live there too. So I'm excited to go back. So it's going to be a fun town.
Yeah, for sure. And we get to spend a little extra time there.
Yep.
Come in a day earlier than everybody. And
Yeah, I have
just
Lincoln
hang out.
Electric there, so I'll definitely check it out.
I've seen some
I
of
know.
that on Instagram.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, by the way,
I was like,
you'll
by
like
the way.
her for this
I know.
reason too. I'm like, ooh.
I know every time I get to Well, I'm bringing my welding helmet on the road, and they're like, okay, since you want to weld, I'm like, can I weld something? And like, they're like, well, don't break your truck.
I've got a spare TIG welder, and we're finally getting the garage at her house plumbed for 220, and we're bringing one up. So she's
Nice.
like in hog heaven. She's finally gonna have a TIG machine there at the house in Cedar.
It's so much fun.
Good, good.
I don't know.
It's meditation almost.
That's what I tell her. Like I can put it's like when I put my race helmet on, I shut everything off. You know what I mean? And it's like your mind just shuts off. And I was like, very few places I get that. Welding's one. I put on the welding hood, and you're so concentrated on what you're doing, the rest of the world shuts off. And I'm like, I just live for that when you can just shut everything off and concentrate on one thing because it just doesn't happen very
Well,
often.
racing though.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, racing is the one
Yeah.
other place you can do that too.
And it's really good, because we have a crazy life where we travel a lot. We're always on social media, and it's like to have that time where your brain kind of disconnect from all the social media and just, think about something you're doing right now. It's like the best thing. Like for me, usually, when I'm welding because I'm not posting much, I'll do video, but I'll usually post it later. But I'm like concentrate on what I'm doing, and I'm like doing my thing, and it's like super fun.
You weld?
I don't. I
was gonna
did.
say, you gotta go.
So I was at SEMA one year with her, and they had like a demo set up where it wasn't like a real welder, but it was like a digital thing, and they had the little seam you're supposed to weld, and mine took a little detour right off of the seam. So I'll leave that up to her. I'll tinker with the RC trucks.
Awesome, guys. So I don't know. You guys, practice is in the books. You got a chance to see the track. What are you expecting this weekend?
It's going to be fun, man. The track looks awesome. There's some big jumps out there. So there's a backflip ramp in there. So I'm excited to see everybody go and see what I can do. I've won 2 of the 3 freestyles so far this little
look at
tour.
her.
So, come on. Get you some.
Yeah, he's lucky enough to go early and do all those cool stuff first, but
Excuses.
No, he's pretty good. I did not had him on my tour for a long time.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, it's fun when after World Final we kind of switch it up a little bit and we change some of the driver, but sometimes you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And this tour is stacked of good driver. It's like they put like almost the best of the best all together. It's like
the All-Star Tour or something?
Yeah, it is. Like you go after like a competition and you're like, wow, I really need to be on top of my game because you're not going to win. So
Well, and you guys are all friends behind the scenes, but there's a lot of bragging rights, right? I mean,
I mean, it's like it's funny because people tell me sometimes like how it is to be a girl, in a male-dominated sport. Well, I'm like, it's fun, but it is like you can tell whenever I get a victory, you can tell there's a little bit of like
hostility there.
Yeah,
you just got beat by a girl.
Yeah, no, it's like I beat Gravedigger the other day in racing, and like you could tell he was like kind of happy for me, but be like, oh, I got beat by a girl. But it's fun. I like it. It's they all treat us really good too. So
I laugh because she's so humble too. Like it was a couple years ago after you won World Finals. I can't remember. You won World Finals. I get this text like 2 days later. She goes, "Jim, how are you?" And I was like, "Great." And I knew she had just won World Finals. She goes, "Do you think you might let me on the radio show this week or something?" And I'm like, "Of course, you just won World Finals, dork."
Pretty good.
I'm like, she's so humble and so nice. I'm like, yes. Anytime you want on, you can come on.
That's sweet.
yeah, it's like it's so cool. Like the racing industry is such a small industry. It's big, but it's small at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, off-road racing and motocross. It's like we're all like passionate about racing, and it's so cool. For me, being from Canada, it's like to be able to share your passion with the people. It's like I feel like it's
we all like
cool
to have
thing.
fun. That's the
Yeah.
one thing
Yeah.
we all have in common. It doesn't matter what division. We
Yeah.
like to have fun.
Exactly. And like it's the one thing in any racing, I love to win against the best. Like if I'm going to win, it's not because your truck fell or something happened. Like I want to win because I deserve it. So like that's why we're all friends behind the scene. I mean, they even like going to give me tricks or whatever. We're all we're all want everybody to do good, but we definitely want to win. But it's just like
because it helps elevate the sport
exactly,
as a whole.
Yeah.
And it is like every year it's getting crazy. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, what's gonna happen next year? Like triple backflip.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's it. Like, I don't know. Some of the stuff every year, it's like that you guys come out with. It's some of it I know happens on accident, and then you're like, oh, we did it on accident. How do we make this happen on purpose now?
Right.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It's just, to me, it's crazy. Just in 10 years, what you
sport.
guys are doing in monster trucks that I don't think anybody ever thought possible.
I didn't even think it. You know, the first time I saw a moonwalk where the truck did a stoppie, and that was like, okay, cool, a stoppie, and then you set the back tires down. But then you go from a stoppie to reverse, and you walk the truck backwards on the front two tires with no wheelie bar in the front or anything like that. It's pretty amazing. And to think that we're doing that now is just incredible. I mean, I think this is probably one of the only motorsports vehicles that's capable of something like that. I don't
On
know.
purpose,
on
at least.
purpose, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's crazy because, like you said, usually it's kind of happened a little bit by mistake. Because I remember when the first moonwalk kind of came on, well, the stoppie at first.
Yeah.
Like I did a moonwalk by mistake, got stuck on the front and kind of bring back the truck. But I was like, wow, okay, you can actually like do a stoppie on the pod. So it's like it all came.
Do you guys see somebody else do something and then you immediately go, oh, now I've got to learn how to do that? How am I going to do
all
this?
the time?
Yeah.
All the time. We're like, how? And like, I'm a slow learner. Like, but when I get it, I'm good at it. But like, sometimes I'm like, I try so hard and it just doesn't work. And I'm like, like this stoppie is like one of the tricks I really want to get good at.
Yeah, it's something that you get your adrenaline pumping, and we're accustomed to driving these trucks so hard and fast. But, you know, when you bring in the finesse of doing like a nose wheelie, you really have to be in control. You can't be, shifty with the shifter, I like to call it, where you have to be smooth with all your movements and finesse. So, never think you use the word finesse when you talk about a Monster Jam truck, but you do, you have to.
And there's a lot to it, like some people forget, but in the Monster Jam truck, there's the rear steering, so you drive the truck, with your hands separately, and you have the shifter, you have like stub brake all the time. So it's like there's so much action going on in the truck, and like we almost crash on purpose to make those crazy moments. So it's like there's no sport that they actually try to crash. Everybody usually they don't want to crash. Well, sometimes you do. If everybody have that crazy run, I mean, you have to have that crazy save, that crazy crash. So it's like it's kind of weird, like when you think about it, but you have to be willing to like go upside down and take that chance of trying to save it.
Well, and too, you guys have to be limited on your practice. Right, just because of the vehicles you're in and how they're built and everything. So it's not like we can go for hours and hours and hours and go take a lap and kind of get something dialed in.
Yeah.
And you guys have certain limitations on how much seat time you have between the events. So that's got to be another factor most people don't think about.
Yeah, they're not cheap trucks to run. I mean, 2 minutes, you run them for 2 minutes and they're hot. So that's pretty much it. That's all you got. By the end of freestyle, the temperature gauge is past 200 sometimes. So that's something you really just have to take in each competition and try and learn from each one. The truck might do something differently that you're not used to. You just have to take that little tidbit and just apply it, going forward.
Yeah, and I feel like for me to try to learn, it's watching a lot of video. Try to watch a lot of video, learn from it. It's been the best thing for me because, like you said, we don't practice. I mean, we do a shakedown. It's more what I call it. It's like we do a shakedown before each show, just to make sure the truck is okay. But we don't really get to practice much.
Yes, true. Very true.
Trial by fire. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you try something, you're like, I'll try next week if it didn't
Good news
work.
is if you crash, the fans love you even more.
I know,
So
exactly.
it's like, this is the one place you're rewarded for failing, I guess,
I know.
right?
But at the same time, it's like I feel like they've been kind of more strict. The fans is voting, but I feel like they are more like they want you to fill your time more.
Sure.
So it's been a little bit different. I feel like before Gravedigger would come, do a huge crash, and like win. But now it's like they want more. They want you to fill your time, do that backflip, do everything. So it's changing a little bit. So and with my truck looks so good, I definitely don't want to crash it. It's like a trucker thing. Like they polish, they're stacked
Chrome.
and everything.
So I got to ask our friend Flippo.
Yeah.
He's got to be excited that you're in the truck, like, because we know he's a trucker. Like he's got to.
he's probably the first person I text when I find out it was gonna be a hauler. I like text him like, you will not believe me. It's like, I'm gonna be driving a big hauler on big wheel, and he was so excited, and he loved the truck. So it's cool because it's definitely a different crowd. As much as the kid love it, I feel like I'm kind of getting an older crowd too, and I get like. Those guy or even girl, come to my line. They're like, I'm a trucker too. This is badass. And I'm like, yes. And I'm like, this is so cool.
That's awesome. That's rad. Well, I know you guys, it's your day off, I guess, or your afternoon off, so we won't hold you any longer, but appreciate you guys stopping by. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
When it's time to replace the tires on your vehicle, General Tire delivers the tires you need for both your next big adventure and your daily commute. Whether you need all-season traction, lasting treadwear, or a quiet drive, General Tires are designed to deliver whatever life brings your way. From all-season ultra-high-performance tires for passenger cars and crossovers to extreme all-season mud terrain and tires for light trucks and SUVs, General Tire delivers great performance. To find your ideal tire, visit GeneralTire.com. General Tire, official tire of The Jim Beaver Show.
Conditions off the pavement are always changing, so why settle for a light bar that just turns on and off? The Rigid Adapt is a revolutionary new light bar that will automatically select from 8 beam patterns that range from a widespread 90-degree flood to a 15-degree spot based on your vehicle's speed. Try that with your knockoff light bar. A dash-mounted controller allows the user to toggle between adaptive mode, beam patterns, and RGBW accent lighting. With Adapt, it's easier than ever to own the night.
Don't just shred your way through any off-road rugged terrain. Get into gear with GSP XTV and let us redefine your adventure. The GSP advantage of quality and performance sets a standard for UTV axles. We strive to provide premium ATV and UTV axles to keep you shreddy ready. Kick up some dirt and get in the driver's seat with GSP XTV. With over 35 years of experience, drive with a company you can trust. Drive with GSP. For more information, please visit us at gspxtv.com today. Thanks for listening to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone. Available online on SiriusXM on AM/FM networks across the U.S. and internationally on the American Forces Network. Head to JimBeaver15.com for all the details.
Welcome back to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone, and wrap it up here from the Kawasaki activation at Nissan Stadium, home of the Tennessee Titans. Out here from Monster Jam, big stadium show. Got the KRX Demo Tour going on. Had a ton of fun this past week. Things are going to happen tomorrow. We still got Monster Jam flying. We got NASCAR here in Nashville. Massive week for Nashville. I'm glad this is the one we decided not to get a rental car because it sounds like it's impossible to do, but makes sense because when we flew on a random Tuesday, like, this airport's like ridiculously busy for 11 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. That makes sense.
Well, yeah, but then you look at the rest of the town, and that makes sense, too. We got here on a Tuesday, walked out at midnight, and it was still packed. Walked out the next morning, it was packed. Yesterday, it was packed. It's insane. From
10 a.m. till 3 a.m., every bar is in full swing. Music starts in the morning, goes until 3 a.m. Like, it's
And when they have the bird scooters, what do they do? They die at 10:30.
At 10:30, they just
curfew.
die in flight.
Like, there's just shenanigans to be had.
Yeah, they don't want drunks driving them home. But I just laughed because, like you had said, because we were in Vegas a couple weeks ago, and you hate to say Nashville outdoes Vegas, but Nashville, I think, outdoes Vegas.
It does. You can find a calm, quiet place in Vegas. You cannot in Nashville. Like, at least in downtown. And it's cool. It's such a different environment. It's so artsy and eclectic. You walk into each one of these historical buildings, and there's just these different style and vibe and
the art, the music.
Oh, it's just.
Well, I love
so
the music
because
everybody thinks Nashville and they think country. There's a ton of country here. You know what I mean? But there's also a lot of other music as well, and that's what I thought was cool. It's like, this is just, I don't know. I've had an absolute blast. You and I have traveled enough together where we see cities and we're like, yeah, I think we'll probably end up back there at some point. We're not going to argue at all, and I think Nashville's one of those. Like,
no, and it's clean and everybody's so nice, but
it's not crazy expensive either. That's what's got me.
Yeah,
Vegas,
for now.
Yeah, but no, Vegas is crazy expensive, and Nashville hasn't quite got there yet. I'm not saying 6 months from now it's not going to be, but.
Well, it reminds me of kind of when we were talking and looking down the street. It's almost like a little bit of Sunset Strip mixed in with Fremont Street and Vegas at the same time, except, man, the party buses.
My Lord. The party buses in the morning. I'm like, did they not go to bed or did they just start really, really early?
I think that's the problem about having bars that close at 3 is you're already so close to that sunrise factor, you just keep going.
Well, it's like you and I, when we get back to the room at almost 4 a.m. the one day, and it was like, it's just like they all blend together. Like you said, it's funny, 2 a.m. cutoff, it's still night. A 3 a.m. cutoff when you're not to bed until 4, it's like, so a lot of people get up at 5, so I'm just like, yeah, it's a gray area there. Are we just, I don't know.
Well, I thought it was weird. You can only buy beer from, 8 or 11 or something. The hours are very restricted, and I thought that was odd, but now I understand.
Yeah, the town that never sleeps is definitely Nashville.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't know. I like it. Minus the heat and the humidity, I think.
We'll come back in December.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
No, I'm just like in the wintertime. Let's put it that way.
I feel like an early March, might be the perfect time, but they're talking about this coming back next year, 4th of July or something like that.
Yeah, July 1st, World Finals is
That's right.
here at the Tennessee Titans Stadium, and I don't know. It's an amazing venue. It's an amazing place to have it. But I'm like,
patriotic. Can you imagine how patriotic this place is going to be 4th of July?
I'm like, that would actually be a rad 4th of July. Come to Monster Jam and just stay through the 4th of July. I'm like, it would actually be a good time in Nashville. I can imagine the music, the concerts. Now, I'm sure that's kind of their thinking, but like you said, like, what was it? Traditionally, World Finals used to be in May in Vegas. Mm-hmm. May in Vegas is warm, but it's not crazy hot quite yet. But I'm like, May in Nashville will probably be about the same way. I'm like, July in Nashville will be like July in Vegas. You're probably going to melt a little bit. Just a little.
Well, and that's why I think they've got the hot tubs, but the hot tubs on the party buses.
Yeah. Hot tubs on the party buses that they're putting ice blocks in. Yeah, but good times out here. It's awesome. Big thanks to Kawasaki for having us out. Everything they've been doing for us has been phenomenal. Big thanks to General Tire, Vision Wheel, Dirtfish, GSP Axle. It's good friends at Rigid Industries. I don't know. We've got some amazing partners. iRacing. Who am I missing, Britt? We got them all covered?
Oh, don't put me on the spot.
We've got some amazing partners that keep things going. Thank you, guys. Head over to iTunes. Hit that subscribe button. Check us out on SiriusXM, channel 217.
We'll also be floating some behind-the-scenes pictures and footage that we got the past few days.
The content we have on Brittany's camera and in our phones is just – it's next level awesome.
I said, for me, the cool stuff, like, this is all amazing. But watching the monster trucks go through the garage and seeing them almost hit, they just look so out of place. And being able to take the Cowies out onto the middle of the field and look out, like, it's almost like we're playing real-life Tonka trucks right now.
Yeah. Well, like all the heavy equipment pushing around. And it was funny because it was all dark yesterday. And the Dragon, we're like off a ways, and there's this tunnel, and you see the end of the tunnel. Almost was like a scene out of a movie or something. Like, here's this big dragon going through this dark tunnel, and we're off to the side and just see it like go by. And it was almost like a scene out of a movie where you're hiding from the dragon in his own lair or something like that. Then here's a dragon parked in the dark, like over in the corner in the bowels of the stadium. And it was funny. I'm like, you could have put a treasure chest underneath it and it would have made a great picture.
I just laugh because we're totally reverting to little kids, right? Yeah. So being around this, it makes me feel like a little kid.
Says the girl that's the dream will be to own 10 acres and just have heavy equipment.
Yeah, I want to just drive around an E-rated and just have sit there and move dirt all day.
If we ever go off the grid, it's because we've got 10 acres and Brittany's digging holes. And a Zamboni. We're going to have an ice rink at some point, too.
That's right. I did almost try and steal a Zamboni yesterday.
I wouldn't even know how to drive them. But
I have problems.
All right. We will see you guys next time on the show. Thanks for tuning in. And, that's all I got for you. We out.
That's a wrap for this edition of the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with Brittney Cardone. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts and follow Jim Beaver 15, B Cardone 15, and Jim Beaver Show on social media. We're also on the web. Hit us up at jimbeaver15.com for all the latest. We'll see you next time.